Hey guys, Ray here, and welcome to Facebook training number 2, where we're going to focus on a few basics to set you up for success using Facebook as a tool to grow your business. So, just to recap this, why we're using Facebook as a tool to grow our business as network marketers. Guys, there are over 2.4 billion users on Facebook as of the second quarter of 2019, okay? So we're going to go to where the people are. All right, so let's get into it. And our first stop here is, we want to set you up for success. And the first stop is setting up your Facebook profile properly and professionally. And this is intended to set expectations up front. This is intended to help the person who has basic knowledge of Facebook. Like they know how to make a post, they know how to load a cover photo, they know how to upload a profile picture. Okay. And the first step is setting up a very professional, attention-grabbing, inspirational cover photo, okay? Maybe it's a picture of something you care about. Maybe it's your family, but a very, attractive photo to draw people into your profile. Because the first thing they're really going to see when, they go to your profile, whether it be on an app on their phone or on their laptop. The next thing is setting up your profile photo, and you really want a clear headshot of you because it's important for people to know who they're following, right? And I'm not saying you got to go out there and hire a professional photographer to get headshots of you, but most of our phones today, these things take good enough photos that it won't be an issue to use the portrait mode to get a very clear headshot for your profile picture. The next step is filling out your information and about yourself, okay? So not only do people want to know who they're following, but it's also going to help you edify yourself, okay? And what it is love, and care about. We talked about it before. You're trying to identify who you authentically are and who you're trying to attract into your life and into your business, okay? The next thing is, don't mention LifeVantage, Protandim, or any products, okay? Now, I don't say this because we're trying to be sketchy or sneaky, but it's marketing 101, and we don't want to eliminate curiosity. If someone goes to your profile and they say, oh, LifeVantage, I'll go Google that myself, and they'll have all the information they need, and they won't have to come to you to get that information. And so when someone goes to your profile, they really shouldn't be able to tell that you represent LifeVantage. And if that's hard for you to understand right now, trust me, it will make sense later as the training goes on. And I also recommend making your profile public so like-minded people can find you, okay? So now we're going to get into some do's and don'ts of Facebook. And I'm sure you see many of these, both do's and don'ts, done by people you see all the time on Facebook, okay? But just to go through some of these to set your baseline. So do, yes, you want to complete your profile, fill it out all the way with a good cover photo, good headshot for your profile picture, and then fill out information about yourself, okay? We're going to teach you how to create curiosity. We're going to teach you how to engage your audience. So when you do make posts, you're engaging with those people, and people who like comments on your stuff, you're going to engage with them. We'll teach you how to do that. We're also going to teach you to, people get so caught up in trying to be super interesting or do fascinating things, but most of our lives, people are interested in, okay? The people love, and care about are interested in your life. So we're going to do that. Also, we're going to add value. Another thing to remember is to be respectful, guys. You don't want to be that guy guy or gal running around just stirring the pot of controversy on Facebook. Maybe it's just not necessarily a good look. Next, you're going to want to do Facebook Lives, and we'll get into that in depth later on. And again, remember, we're trying to brand you for who you authentically are and who you're trying to attract into your life and business. Another great tool that Facebook has is the groups. And I want to encourage you right now to think about, hit pause and think about 5 things you're most passionate about, okay, outside of LifeVantage. Maybe it's your faith. Maybe it's that you homeschool. Maybe it's golf. Maybe it's some type of health. Maybe it's working out. But think about the 5 things you're most passionate about. Maybe it's surfing or fishing or running. Think about the 5 things you're most passionate about outside of LifeVantage. Write them down, and then go join those groups on Facebook, because I guarantee they exist. And when you join those groups, interact, add value, ask questions. Don't mention LifeVantage, but it's going to allow you to connect with like-minded people about topics that you're already going to be able to naturally talk about, okay? We'll get more in depth on that later on. Now we're going to get into some don'ts. I mentioned this before. If it doesn't make sense right now, hit the I believe button for now, trust me, because this is huge. Do not mention LifeVantage and do not mention product names, okay? Again, this is Marketing 101, we're creating curiosity, okay? That's what we want to do. So don't mention the company name or the products. I also recommend, don't spread yourself too thin, okay? Figure out Facebook first before you go try to, harness Instagram and every other social media platform. Figure out one and become proficient before you spread out, okay? Also, you don't want to become an infomercial, right? No one wants to, back in the day when infomercials were on, most people today, either have, like Apple TV or something else where they're not necessarily seeing infomercials, but, don't be an infomercial because people don't want to tune into that. Another thing, don't spam your friends, don't spam your feeds, don't be sending out unsolicited links. Don't send anything to someone that they didn't ask for via Messenger, okay? Another thing, don't share other people's posts, and that might be hard for you to wrap your head around as well right now if you're early and they're new to the game, but the whole point here is to add value, right? But we're also setting you up as the influencer, as the person who's sharing that value with the world. So when you share other people's posts, your communities and your sphere of influence is now not seeing you as the expert, it's seeing the person who created that post as the expert, okay? So they're gonna go to them to ask them those questions, okay? And I'll tell you right now, it's okay to rip off and duplicate. No one's gonna get in trouble for plagiarizing here on Facebook, okay? So if you see a good post that resonates with you, copy it and paste it. Don't share it, make it your own. Also, when you do go in and join those groups of things you care about and are interested in, don't be the negative person and don't be spammy in those groups. Don't go in there, just looking to blast somebody or link and get them into LifeVantage. Go out there and legitimately try to find like-minded people, okay? Find ways to connect with people who are like you. And to wrap up this portion, guys, just a couple of do's to go back to what we do want to do. We definitely want to execute the attraction marketing formula. And our objective using this is, we're going to build an audience and a following, and we're going to do that by catching people's attention and adding value. And there's a very specific formula for that that's going to be covered, in depth in a later video, okay? So don't get too wrapped up around these numbers you're seeing right now, but this is just to give you a sneak peek at what's to come. Another thing to do is your daily method of operation, or DMO. And this was built to, give you a daily list of tasks that you're going to execute in the world of Facebook, okay? And by doing this, you're going to create the proper habits that are really a requirement if you're going to, as a network marketer, use Facebook to grow your business. It's also going to help keep you accountable, and it's also going to set your baseline, something you do day in and day out. Okay, and the brilliance of this is, people always wonder, what the secret sauce is to grow their business. There's not a secret sauce. It's doing the little things like the DMO and the attraction marketing formula day in and day out over time, okay? And we're going to get into depth on both of those in later training. So that's it for Facebook 101. Your next stop is Facebook training number 3, where you're going to learn about the attraction marketing formula, and I can't wait for you to see it.